So I'm back in the place to be, and this time was and I don't even like to be reminded of this stuff, but it happened. It is what it is. I don't like to be reminded because I already went through it, got over it. I don't want to revisit it or anything, but I know I wrote this stuff down just so I can, if necessary, if I needed to go back or whatever. So I was going over something about a girl in a dream that I had, and she was like dressed as a farmer or something like that. And I think I think it's safe to say that it's the girl that the boys' dad had, at last I knew been involved with. Hopefully he hasn't changed again. But then again, maybe he might need to. But anyway, yeah, the last one I knew of or whatever, and in this dream, the girl was coming from like the left side of the house, and then she ended up on the right side. I made a point to say that, and I said I was reminded that this is similar to the dream where another girl that he was involved with, that he ended up having a baby with during the time that we was involved. She was on a side of the road. I don't know if it was the right or whatever. I'm gonna go back and try to find it. And then she went on another side of the road, and I don't remember what the dream was, but in real life, she crossed over to the wrong side of the road when she was driving, and it resulted in the death of one of her kids. And the boy has had a biblical name, and he also got mistaken for having my boy's dad's last name. So it was mistaken. I don't know, that at the time that definitely stood out for me. I was like, mistaken. And like, yeah, that name doesn't belong to him. And I don't know if that also means that was supposed to happen in the life of my boy's dad instead of her son. And it probably would have had she not crossed over and bothered him. So here I am. I'm going to go somewhere deep that I probably don't even want to go. But had she not I don't want to say bothered him, excuse me, but dealt with him. So yeah, she was dealing with him, and yeah, he ended up losing a son during that. Hold on, let me see, because I gotta make sure that I'm writing this on this date. What's today? Okay, yeah. Because every time I get something new that's like added on or whatever, or new to my understanding, I just jot it down and I try to add it to the part that I've already written, and then just do it as an update, like updated notes or whatever. But I don't know. I went back to that dream for that, and that stood out to me that two females that he was dealing with or being with or whatever, they was and this is so crazy because this is the room that I used to be with him in, interacting with him, and yep, in that type of way, and just also just watching TV, laughing, whatever, eating, getting ate. No, I'm just playing. I don't even want to go there, but but yeah, that's just something to me, uh, that they both, in a dream at least, started out on this side and was, ended up on the right side or something like that. And like I said, I'm going to go back and try to see if I can find that other dream, because there was a scream in one of them dreams, like a scream of horror. And now I feel like I look back and it was, her losing her son, like something I was telling her to not do something in the dream, and she was doing it or interacting with him anyway, and then there ended up being a scream of horror. Now these dreams might be on my laptop, where right now I can't reach them. Gotta have a screen for them, but because my screen is messed up, because my son from when he was younger, and his dad, they both tore my computers up. So, but whatever, it is what it is. But I'm gonna just double check and see, because I wrote dreams down everywhere. It could be in my messenger. It could be on a notepad. It could be anywhere. It could be written, handwritten. But I want to see in detail about that. And so, I just felt the need to come in here and kind of research it again. I really been feeling lately like I need to go over a lot of my dreams. I don't want to say all of them, but a lot of them again. Because some of this stuff is just playing. I had the dreams 2 or 3 years ago and they played out, now, or shoot, might have had them before then and they playing out now or whatever. Usually I think I have dreams that play out within like a 2 year time frame. I haven't seen anything that was, that's been 3 years or as far as I noticed or whatever. Oh. Also, I'll come in here because I know I'll be needing to pray as well. And it ain't even about talking about this stuff, but that stuff just kind of moves me to pray. That moves me to want to talk about it, and then when I want to talk about it, I want to come in my room. I don't want to be in there with the boys, and I want to kind of do it as a video, but I eventually have to get to praying. So now, where it used to be, and I'm just keep it real, it used to be just God move on me, and I know I need to go pray. Now it's like I almost got to go through a third type of medium and see, and that's not a good thing. It's definitely not a great thing. It's still helpful and I'm thankful. But you don't want to be like that. Like, I think you want to hear directly from God, and you want to be able to move off that and know, okay, he wants me to go pray, not go vent about this stuff and not go talk about it. And I know I'm saying it and probably it should be that easy to apply, but this is how I'm living. This is what's going on. Oh yeah, speaking of screams and stuff, had a vision where two people were standing at the edge of my yard. I ain't gonna write their names. I know who they are. One had a birthmark over their eye, like it was purple. It was purplish, like a Dalmatian, or like a birthmark. They stood there, gazing in my direction and smiling, like not smirking. It was like, well, it was smiling. Let me just leave it at that. Seemed as if something was mentally wrong and they wouldn't come in the yard, only the edge. Then the other was crawling on all fours, like being possessed by demons, or crawled in my yard toward my house. I never saw the face, but I knew who I believe it was. I felt myself screaming, "Help me!" Not because they harmed me, but because I didn't know what to do, and it was a disturbing sight to see. Then my head started pounding on the left side of my temple. Okay. So anyway, oh, here it is. Yep. Okay, so, because I literally wanted to get to the dream, and I don't know when I had this, but it had to have been definitely before February 13, 2019. But I think I had it before that. Because he was dealing with this girl back in 2013 and 14 or whatever. They had the baby in 2014. So I was having them dreams then. And, he could have went on and continued. And then she lost her child in 2015. I had a child in 2015. They could have still, been at least interacting. As far as being sexually involved, I don't think so because her. Ooh. I had gotten too comfortable. And, yeah, that was my chips and stuff in the background. But I had gotten real comfortable because, hold on. Because, yeah, trying to get comfortable. Okay, this is not wanting to work out for me. Wait a minute. Alright, that's better. Part of my chips and stuff. But anyway, 2015, they could have still been involved. I just feel like a lot of times people kept stuff from me, even though I was willing to tell people. Wasn't snitching, but it was just telling people what was really going on. They kept a lot of stuff from me, and I'm fine with it because I'm at I'm at peace with it because God was speaking to me, and that's all I wanted to hear from. I didn't really want to hear from nobody else and what they thought it was or what it felt like it was or what it seemed like it was. I wanted to hear from God to know what is it. And like oftentimes he told me, flat out what it was. Even regarding the accident, he just showed me that she's gonna get her backside burned up, and I feel like that's the way you basically like you when somebody get their backside burned up, you getting a whooping, getting chastised, you getting disciplined or whatever, and for it to happen like that, I know some would be like, that's not God, but you know what, God loves us and He wants to keep us and this, that, and the third. He wants to keep us in right standing or get us in right standing. He will, and I say that with my daughter being away from my house and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely something that's going to encourage me. Is it going to make me? But no, but it's going to encourage me to want to be in me personally, right standing, because I don't want nothing further. And just dealing with him, you know what I'm saying? It's just something always regarding people's kids. And it's like, something with him, with the enemy or whatever, that just tampers with people's kids. And I do feel like now this is the wrong child to tamper with. Like, you knew the wrong person. I was the wrong person to tamper with when you bothered me. So why would you dare bother with my child or anything regarding my child? But anyway, I'm just glad I found this dream because, even though I had about, if I had that one in 2019 or 20, I had them like 4 to 5 years apart. It was God still speaking and showing. And so, and I call this OPP. I guess I meant other people's property or either OP. But this is the time when I was writing down. 2019, I started writing down all my dreams, transferring all my dreams from this certain phone I used to have. And I got rid of that device, but I needed the dreams out of there. So I had a dream that me and dude was in some house, wasn't familiar. I was trying to stop girl from, that's not what I put up at their names, but from sending some porno pictures or videos. And I do remember in real life, I was like, why are you saying, like, I seen a video that she was sending, goodness, what was it? And I don't want to relive this or anything, but I am trying to just go back there, like, oh yeah, she sent pictures of her vagina and stuff like that, and he said something, he was like, oh, that doesn't turn me on or something like that, I don't know. And then she sent I think video of them having sex or something like that, and I think he did this. I've seen him where he did the same, where and so it was like, wait a minute, yeah, y'all got something else going on that what I'm saying, that really does not include me, but I've been here, so how doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, so pretty much, I'm not getting down with all that. I mean, hey, y'all want to do that, and I guess go that deep or whatever the case may be, go ahead. And even though her baby daddy was back and all that, he was still sending, I guess that was his don't forget, you know what I'm saying? Basically why he was locked up, what was going on. I don't want to talk about it like that, but it is real. It happened. But, I didn't want to be involved with that, tied, connected to that, and, what I'm saying, dealing with that. And I definitely don't be wanting to go back regarding this female because, that was a tough time in my life for real. And it's like I was damn near trying to wish this girl off the planet, or worse, or whatever. But anyway, so she was sending stuff or whatever, and I was trying to get her to stop sending it. And she was like, I just want, he need to think about it. It's been different females that been like in that type of form that'll tell me about a dude that I'm dealing with. Oh, I can't sleep at night if I don't this. And I'm like, what? And that's fine. It does remind me of somebody that's really feminine and stuff like that. And I'm not like that. So, it's like I'm lacking. Like I don't feel like I'm lacking, but it seems like I'm lacking. It makes me feel like, oh gosh, he likes this in them and he likes this about them or whatever, I'm saying. And I'm not like that. I'm like, I mean, I have feelings, and I express a lot, especially when I was with him. I expressed most everything, but I just wasn't at the place where I was so reliant on him, or even if it was faking it. I don't know if they truly felt like this, but how do you have a whole nother dude, or, what I'm saying, you got babies with, and he, just because he locked up or whatever, and you, like, that's trying to get something out of this dude right here. and you wrapped up and enthralled in that. I don't know. I just never been that type. If I'm with somebody, I'm with them. I'm not trying to be with nobody else. Now, if I go off and, you know what I'm saying, you done piss me off and I go off and that's just what I done decided to do, I'm still not wrapped up in that other person. I'm still like aware and conscious that I'm with this one. But yeah, and I don't do stuff like that anyway. I did with my daughter's dad, as far as, he was like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And then I went off just to, maybe to spite him, and just like, oh, okay, well, bet, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't really trying to let him find out, but I was just trying to make myself feel better. Went off and got involved with somebody and turned around and regretted and wished that I hadn't. That was pretty much water under the bridge for the most part, thank you God. But, yeah. I just never been that type to get wrapped up in somebody else's man or another man, and I got this whole man over here, regardless of whether he wasn't here or not. And there's times where I see that it could have potentially happened. When my daughter's dad was locked up, and I was baking a cake for this other dude, this, that, and the third. I took it over there, and I was talking to him or whatever, because I had already, again, mine be like this. I already knew this dude before I even met you, and so maybe that dude could pull me to something, pull me into something like that, but it just didn't happen. Especially at that time, I had my daughter, and I just, God didn't allow it to happen, and I'm thankful. And I don't know, I don't like it, but at the same time, it's like kind of intriguing to me. Like, dang, y'all really be out here like that? But I'm saying that about my own situation, my quote unquote my own situation. Like, cause no, I don't like own that. Cause I don't want that crap to keep showing up in my life, and you know what I'm saying. But I just be like, y'all really be out here really doing that? Like, you really can disassociate from whoever you with, just because either they're not physically there or whatever the case may be, and you can just really get wrapped up in somebody else that's really involved. And I've seen it happen, of course, on TV, and of course you hear about it in celebrity life and whatever, but I did not know that it was like a real life thing. And so, I don't know, man. It was just crazy. And then he was calling himself wrapped up in her and fantasizing. And it's just me. I'm different. I do not try to fantasize about nothing. Even, I ain't even gonna front. When I was young and thugging and wilding, when I was, I'm talking about on sex toys and stuff like that, I was not fantasizing about nobody else. I was just focused on pleasing myself. I'm like, I want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to involve nobody else in this fantasy, because for what? Why? So yeah, that's me. That's where we differ. But that was crazy to me, and that definitely was heartbreaking, and it was heartaching and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah. Nah. And that right there, that's what made me want to fight you all night. No, but seriously, like, girl, really? You really just thought you got wrapped up in him, and you thought he was going somewhere, and he shouldn't have been nowhere near you in the first place, but you thought he was really going to go in? No, 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 no. So anyway, brings me back to what I'm talking about, the dream or whatever. So I'm telling her to stop doing that. Then I began to pray about it, and she was in another part of a house, and he wanted video. So basically, he wanted them. He was asking her for him or whatever. And this sounds like him, honey, because that's what he do. He wanted breast pictures from me. Of course, he called them titty pictures, but he wanted titty pictures from me when he was somewhere else and all that. And then there was a spirit of fear, or some type of fear, that made us scream. And so when I wrote that down in detail. And I know it was 5 or not 5. Now it's been about 6, or it's been 5 or 6 years ago now. The way I was writing it, there was a spirit of fear, or some type of fear, that made us scream and scared, surrounding the house, or something like that. I don't know. It went through the house, I should have said. The dream ended with old girl, or some girl, driving on the right side of a car. So she was in the car, but she was on the right side That's where the steering wheel and stuff was. And she pulled off with a baby in the back seat. I walked outside and said bye, ma'am, to the baby girl. And before, again, I had this dream before. I interacted with her daughter, and I remember the day when she came and got her daughter from my house because he had brought her over, his daughter over here. And I was telling the little girl bye. And and I wasn't trying to be funny, but I know it's something that could be taken funny, but I was just like, bye, bye, girl. It was really because I had spent time with her and I got to know her, and I was like, bye, and I don't know when I'll see you again or anything like that, because of course your mama feels a type of way or whatever, that he'd been over here trying to, he knew not to try to make me a stepmama regarding that child, but just trying to play house or whatever as far as the child. I ain't talking about us, because I wasn't playing. Now, he was doing whatever he was doing, but I wasn't playing. And I kind of got a headache talking about this stuff, or either from what I ate or whatever. Like, that's how bad it was, and that's how much it's like I don't even like revisiting this. But yeah, that happened. And that's what I'm saying. So she was driving on the right side. I thought it was the right side of the road, but she was driving. Steering wheel was on the right side, like in other countries, which is right side is good, it's righteousness. But what ended up happening was she drove on the left. She was driving, but she drove across the lines in the road, where you don't cross over, and she ended up losing a child. And I got all these other dreams about me and him, and it was just, oh. Lord have mercy. I'm not trying to go back down this road at all. I had a dream where, now this is real too. I can't remember exactly when. It might have been 2017, 16, something like that. I don't know. But I had a spiritual experience where I was laying in dude's arms last night. That was real. After he came over at 3 in the morning, a black soulish dog or cat type spirit walking on two legs came into my room and came up behind me and got access to me through him. It just stuck his tongue out really fast on my neck, and then I jumped up out of my sleep and started praying. This was after I told him that my vagina was irritated, and he basically let me know that he had slept with someone else lately. He expressed that he loves me, and I have no idea how much. And then I found out later that, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, that could have been some other stuff, but to me, I don't feel like it's been fully revealed, or either it's been revealed and I just missed it. But anyway, that's what he said. I don't know how much. And I told him that it was not his love, but his honesty that was in question. I went back to sleep, but I woke up again shortly because I had a dream that I was fighting a demon. I couldn't see, and I was naked or just had panties. My grandma was in a dream watching and talking to me. I got up to go in there with my son. At that time, I guess I only had one. In there with my son, which he was sleeping in my daughter's room. And then his dad grabbed my arm and asked, was I leaving him, and held on. Weirdo. And I was playing. I didn't think that at the time, but looking back, I'm like, oh my goodness. But anyway, I pulled away and left. He came in shortly after to get me, and I told him I was praying. He mentioned that I had been praying all night. I came back in and went to sleep with him. Honey, that stuff was crazy. And then that similar stuff tried to show up. Well, it was like another part to that experience, tried to show up when my daughter was somewhere. I was like, oh no. So, on 4/21/15, which my other son was not born yet, had a dream that this dude, well, his academic, his name is, at the time I was referring to him as Brother Jonathan, and he was, he lives in St. Vincent and stuff like that, and this is the guy I was keeping in contact with for years, and evidently he had certain feelings towards me, and maybe even plans or whatever, but I didn't have those same feelings, but I was interacting with him. That's how you just be unsuspecting, but anyway, I had a dream that Brother Jonathan came to visit me in my dream, and he was serious. He made one statement, then turned away. There was snow and card playing in the dream. And that's just no coincidence. It's a day after the girl's birthday, in which, again, he wasn't involved with that girl yet, but evidently, it might have been the foreshadowing of what was to come. And right now, that's all I'm going to read, because if not, I'll end up reading all them dreams, and I just do not feel like I said, reliving, rehashing, or any of that. I just want to continue to move forward. But with moving forward, that means I have to go into prayer, and I'm good on that. Like, I really enjoy that, and I really like, I don't even want to say getting back to, because I want to say I ever stopped praying. I didn't. I just, I got distracted by some stuff that tried to throw my spiritual life off and try to confuse me and stuff like that. So I don't want to walk in confusion, live in confusion, end up in confusion and darkness and all that. Like, anybody that know words of prayer for real, like, the prayers of the righteous avail much, please pray. Regarding my left side, my ribs, ever since I carried my daughter, she used to kick me in my ribs and stuff like that, and it still hurts to this day. I have, like, muscle spasms or something. Of course, it's trying to get worse since I got bigger, but it's so bothersome and so painful. At times, it does remind me, I carried a little girl in there, and she kicked the crap out of my ribs. Like, literally seemed like she pushed my left side of my ribs out more, like remolded them, reformed them or whatever. But yeah, it doesn't feel good. I don't like it. Like, other organs get trapped under there, and it is so painful. Because it just seemed like she moved it out of place. So anyway, like I said, I'm getting ready to go into prayer. I'm getting ready to sign off, log off of here. But I just wanted to mention that because, yeah, that just tried to blow me away.